How's it going? How are yous? How's you doing? Etc. Etc. Yeah, just do my thing. Welcome to Painter's Breakfast. Host Joe's book. Yeah. I made a little something today. Actually, I made a little pesto, open face, rigmarole, as it were. Duolingo harassing me. Yeah, it's good though. I've been thinking about it for a little bit now, and got a few friends with me. If you haven't noticed, these will change into as time goes by. Uh, Somebody bought that today. Crazy. Yeah. So Galeras, I have been hearing a lot from artists recently. Oh, and the video thing doesn't want to do what it's supposed to do. So, been hearing a lot from people of the art societies and whatnot. And I want to say, I appreciate everything that everybody does for me. I appreciate that you guys tell me you love my work. I appreciate that you tell other people you like it, all those things. Like, that means the world to me. I wish everybody else had fans as great as you guys. I think a lot of people creating like a void. They don't get to see like anything else. All they get to do is kind of see like maybe a like here, a subscribe here, etc. But it's not. They can be kind of hard though, because like you want to be reflective of the great work that you put forward. You want to feel like you're seen. I think a lot of people just don't feel seen. I'm sorry, though, by the way. So I guess the question I would ask of the rest of you would be, tell people you like what their work is. I saw this study once. It said for every 500 people that follow you, there's maybe two that actually communicate with you. And that could be communication via buying stuff and so on and so forth. But that's just madness, you know? This thing that makes no sense. I don't think all interactions with artists are meant to be sales. I think they're generally meant to be just forms of communication between you and a creative individual. But I do think, in a weird way, most people never really communicate with the people who make art around them. Just to say anything. But you think how many people you follow on social medias and all these things? How many of them have you actually had an actual conversation with online, in the comments, anything? And it's a very small contention. Like it's strange. I can see it even myself. Like it's a small contention. There are a lot of artists that I talk with, but there are other people who I know in real life, and we don't communicate via stuff. Like we might see each other's stuff, we might like it, but we don't we don't really interact. I think in a lot of ways, there's a loneliness to it that some people aren't prepared for. Most of these super talented, amazing artists that I know have these giant lonely spells in their life. Where they would love to communicate just with people. Express how they feel, express the ideas they have going through their head about the art that they're making and what it means to them and all these things. And they're kind of lost in that same aspect. And that's difficult, man. So I say this. If you know an artist, write something pleasant under one of their posts for like a month. Like for a month? I'm like, not do it every day, but occasionally. Because you might be the only person they ever hear say it. Is a weird thing. I think people equate likes and subscribes to communication. And I think a lot of that is made kind of monetized. It's monetized like your interest, and your likes and your wants and your needs without really addressing them. There's so many things that I love and like in this world that I don't really communicate with them why I like them, what they mean to me, so on and so forth. And we're all kind of guilty of it, but it's one of those things that you have to, at some point in time, figure out. Do you want to be the essence of something, or do you want to be the not personification? I don't want to say personification. The action of loving something. You know? And that's what I say. I was like, talk to artists. Tell them how much you like them. Tell them that they are your favorite. Getting up in the morning and brushing your teeth to a hang in there cat painting done by your favorite artist on Etsy that you followed for 5 years made your morning. Like, tell them that. It's so love, brother. Um, it's so important, honestly. It just is. My friend Netararu is one of the most kind of aura inspiring people I know. And he has a instance company that he owns that is incredible. Like a whole your whole area just feels better when you do those, when you like those things. And he has a lot of other stuff also. Artisan Wellness Project is his handle. Let's just check it out. It's good shit. But it's stuff like that, you know. Always, always. Hmm. I just think a lot of us we're meant to support each other, like it used to be the case when a bunch of artists were around each other. They would come together to do things, big events, and bring all these things to other people. And somehow, in social media, they got us to start fighting for thumbs up and subscribes and likes when we should just be celebrating each other. Everybody, all skill levels. There was a beauty in being an unknown fan of an unknown thing, you know? Or to be a huge fan of something that no one else really knew about and then introducing them to it. And like that pass fail of I liked it, I didn't like it, you know? It was new and it's fresh and you found it at the pace in which you found it at. I think somewhere in the hunt for that, it doesn't feel as passionate now, which is sad. But I don't think it's gone forever. I just think we have to figure out new ways to do it. So I have to address this. I made a joke on Instagram because there are a lot of people on the internet who are artists, but also possibly models, who try and, before presenting their art in the world, have a tendency to toot it out, if you will. Twerk it up if you can. No, they wear like very tight pants or shorts or something of that nature. And then they always turn. So I'll do it because it looks ridiculous when I do it. So it's like the reveals, and then they go, put the butts out, and it's a nice butt. So even though nothing wrong with it, the butt is out, and they turn it, and then they reveal the painting, and you see it. And I gotta be honest, sometimes, and I say this with all due respect and kindness. Sometimes, I'm trying to break into the West Indian accent when I say this, but I might. Sometimes it don't make no sense because the art is not good. Yeah, you get this weird bit of just like, when you see it, and it's just it's crazy, and it's got like a million likes on it, and you're like, that is all about that butt. That's got nothing to do with nothing. So I made a joke. Sorry. So I made a joke that, am I gonna have to buy a pair of booty shorts? Let me see. What do they call them? Hoochie daddy shorts. Little shorts. The butt shorts. In order to get more clicks on my paintings and my website stuff. And I said it as a joke. And then people sent me a million DMs going, go for it. And I was like, I'm not built like that. I don't know what to tell you. Like I'm sturdy. But I'm not really walking around double cheeked up. I'm sorry. I'm kind of a lean-esque type of individual, especially the last couple of years. Like you said that to me a couple of years ago. Could have brought it. Now, yeah, I'm a little leaner than I was, Alex says it looks good, but I don't know. I have shorts that are longer. So the Hoochie Daddy short, for those who are wondering, is I've been doing a lot of stretches recently, so my flexibility is much better than you. It used to be like just to get past here, but now it's like oh yeah, now I can do it. So I'm proud of me. I do it every morning. Um, so the Hoochie Daddy shorts. So the regular shorts for most men in general, or masculine presenting people, is here, maybe here. Hoochie Daddy shirts are like here. that's a whole that's a whole kneecap. You know what I mean? That's like a whole shin. It's almost a shin's worth of leg there. You don't want to see that. I mean, my tattoos are pretty, but you don't want to see that. You don't want to see that on me. And I just kind of played around with the idea though, and I took a photo just to see. Don't do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I don't think anyone would see an old man twerk it out. Not necessary. But it was just funny though. It was funny to get all the responses from people who were like, "Oh, you should do it. You should definitely do it. Make that bank." And I was like, "It's not gonna work." I was like, "Oh," they're like, "You're a hater," and I was like, "About myself? I don't know about this." I was like, "I feel like I could." I feel like I can say like, nah, that's not gonna. It's not gonna work out that way. Sex may sell. I don't know if that brand specifically is gonna work for me. I have more of like the. There's a time when I had more of kind of like a hobo wrapped in a blanket, eating a slice of pizza with no shoes on, in the street, in the morning, as you try and go to work. Like that was more my that was more my vibe at one point in time. I think now I more reflect like an older artist who does a bunch of things. He's funny, but he's not gonna. The work speaks for itself, so he's not gonna do all this extra shenanigans. But he might do weird visual stuff. This much a leg. Um, no, it's just interesting though. It's just very interesting. How it all comes together. Alright, side note. I will not have the studio too much longer. We, sadly, our condo association told us that a law passed, basically, that by January will allow them, if voted upon properly, to send us a bill for $50,000. Every single person in this area. And none of us have 50 grand just sitting around. If you do, explain to me how it happened in the comments. Because I know the rest of us would love to find out how that works. um, so from that, even if it gets voted down, like it's just happened so many times with this place in the last 12 years, that it's just not trustworthy. It's problematic and it's becoming something that just stresses us out every couple of years. And it looks like it's not going to pass, but the prospect that it could pass and that we would be forced out of our homes because we could not pay this assessment just ain't worth it. So soon, soonish, we get to start this whole thing over again where we do stuff. What we're thinking we were gonna do This time is, if we can, we will evacuate everything, move out, and then sell it completely empty. See what we can get for it, and just be gone by before all that stuff is possible. It's hard, honestly. Like, my health is good, but I have my bad days, and we're trying to do all this art stuff. And we're trying to make everything beautiful and pretty and work well, and etc. And it just keeps happening. Where they suddenly just throw this impossible thing at us. And it's not one of those things you can really get. You're guaranteed to be able to get a loan for. It's not one of those things. And then it's a question of, if you get one for this, so you get a second mortgage basically to pay for this. In about 5 years, they could hit you with yet another assessment that is equally as crazy as this one, and you're out on your ass. Or you pay 50 grand. The other people in the building don't all make it through that, and so they still have a deficit, and then they have to come back at you for more money, which you can't get another loan to pay for something while you owe a second loan type. You know what I mean? It's just, it doesn't make sense. The whole thing is insane, and I'm not here for it anymore. So that's primarily what's going on right now, with condo stuff and the dramas of that. It's been up and down as far as I feel about it, but we'll be gone, so it'll be what it is. I don't know where we're gonna go, honestly. I don't know where we're gonna end up, where we're gonna go, etc. I just hope that my cats are okay, and Alex is doing well, and we can just kind of get that in the best ways possible. And that's basically kind of about. No, 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 no. And now we reach the part of the story where I go off on some people. So during the Olympics, yes, I'm going to talk about this. During the Olympics, this woman who is who's a boxer from, I believe, Algeria, who has a hormone imbalance, was born that way her whole life, was dubbed trans because she was such a skilled fighter and powerful boxer that she rocked somebody's shit in about 4 seconds. And suddenly all these conservative people started coming out and they say, she's trans, it's not fair, she's trans. One, trans people didn't do anything to you. They just want to live. Leave them alone, or I will punch you. Two, this woman, although she has nothing against trans people, is not a trans person herself. She comes from a northern African Muslim strict-ish type of place where it's the type of place where you hear dictators in parts of Africa saying there are no gay people here, type of thing. You know, that is a Western thing. Is the type of stuff. So the idea of like an openly trans woman from that country representing them seems far-fetched anyways. But it was really because like this woman from Italy, this white woman from Italy, got rocked and didn't feel comfortable, and everyone just piled on this brown woman. And even if she had been trans, that would have been fine because they do tests to make sure people fall under certain spectrums. But she's not, and it just kind of, it really, I don't know, it put a big damper on what she was doing, and I felt bad for her, and I felt very upset that people were using this as a platform to just say hateful things about trans people. And this channel has always been an ally. So for those who join me and feel like this is not a, I'm jumping on a thing. No, we've always been a civil rights channel. We have always been a channel that stands up for other people, and I refuse to be one of those people. Even if it means I'll never have millions of followers on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook and all this other stuff because I get shadow banned or whatever that even means because I'm old and I don't understand it. Um, I don't care. I will never stand by and watch someone be attacked, particularly someone who doesn't deserve it. So, yeah, if you're one of those people who says homophobic things and racist stuff and all these things, like, go on somewhere. This ain't for you, because we gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about We're going to talk about the election when it comes up. We're going to talk about the things I don't like about the people who win, the things I don't like about the people who lose, the things I do like about the people who win, and so on and so forth. Who I would have liked to have won, and so on and so forth. I believe in more on an aspect of like democratic socialism. Like, I like the idea that if people work hard, they can make money. But I also like the idea that we take care of everyone, regardless, because we're part of a society, and a society crumbles when you leave corners to rot, essentially. You might not have a visual mind, so that might be complicated for you. So it's a box, but the corners get wet, and so as the water travels up, the box becomes weaker, even though the middle's fine, and maybe the top for a little while, but eventually the moisture just kind of overtakes the box and it falls apart. I just feel like, I don't know, I feel like we deserve better, and I feel like we need to be better. So that's my big part that I have to say about it. I might even do a painting of her because I think she's one of those. I love boxing, and I think she's one of those people that should be celebrated as a boxer just for just being a wonderful boxer. I remember being a kickboxer growing up as a kid. I won 2 gold medals in the state games, and I went to the nationals. And when I went to nationals, I got my butt kicked by a guy who was about a foot taller than me. He had a 2-inch reach, but we weighed the same amount, and so we were in the same weight class. And he kicked my ass. And I shook his hand, and I told him how great it was to just be there, and I meant it. I got to be around all these great martial artists, and they were all just incredible. I had much better flexibility back then. And that's kind of what it was, you know? I mean, you as a competitor will find, when I was a surfer, you run across people who just do incredible things that you can't do. And it's not even to say they're better than you or they'll beat you in competitions, but they will occasionally beat you in competitions. You will lose. No one has ever truly been undefeated. Everyone has gotten beaten at some point in time in an embarrassing fashion, oftentimes. And that happens in art. That happens in all types of stuff. I remember being in gallery shows and not winning. I didn't even coming in any position to win anything. And I remember thinking, I was like, I'm a lock for this. This work is crap. And I was wrong. I was not a lock for it. And it was not crap. I just had a bad attitude about it. You have to realize that, like, life is this amazing thing that comes together the way it does, and you do the things you do and the best abilities that you can, and people will try and undercut you for it, and you have to remember that you worked to the point to where you are today. All these accolades that you don't feel you've earned, you were there. You're the one that put the work in. You're the one that showed up. You're the one that made it, did it, does it, do it, gonna keep doing it. I don't know. Move my arms around. Just there's so many great things in which you'll see and do in your life, and the same way that you will bring it all back, the same way that you want to see your achievements celebrated, are the same way those artists want you to say something nice to them on Instagram. No. Yeah. No. Actually, yeah. Yeah. No. I don't know, man. We saw Deadpool 3 last night. It was funny. It was good. It had some tearjerker moments in it. I wasn't prepared for that. But yeah, everything, everything is well for now. So, thank you very much. Love you. Do as you do. I will as I will, and always be making. Painter out. Ciao. Bye. Wait. Oh. That's stupid, I know. You're welcome. Painter out. Ciao.